So my plan was to work on this, and it's actually on Tuesday, and this video is not going to drop until Friday. So the original plan was to work on this comic, and I know it's going to take a few days to get done, and that's why I decided to start it on Tuesday. And I really do want to work on it. I mean, there's no question about that. I definitely have some stuff I want to do to it and try to make it look a whole lot better. But then something happened. I discovered something. So, if you want to see what I discovered, you should probably keep watching this video. So as I was saying before the intro, number one, I'm going to change the name from Freeform Friday to something else. I don't know yet. I probably won't change it for a couple of weeks. But it's going to have to do with cleaning comics, because that's pretty much all I do now for Friday videos. But what could be so important that I would put this off to the side and work on it instead? I'm sure you're all curious, so I guess I'll show you. How about X-Men number 42? Now this is pretty dirty. It's got a lot of creases. It's in good condition. Even after I clean it, it's still going to be in good condition. But I just want to work on it. I want to see what I can do with it. I want to see if I can make it look better. And if I do make it look better, I might offer it up on Friday night's auction on Horizon Picks channel. No guarantee on that. I said I might. So let's get to work and see what I can do. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over to my press and I'm going to put it in there with no pressure just to warm it up. And then I'm going to use an eraser on some of the white and see how that does. Now I can see where somebody decided to draw Bobby's head here, or trace it, so I'm going to have to press that out, and I'll use my little iron to do that, as I've shown you in the past, and I'll have to steam that to do it. And I'll do all of that before I clean it. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Let me go warm it up and start cleaning up the white. Okay, I warmed it up, and as you can see, the pages are a little loose. The whole idea behind that is to loosen up the paper. I don't steam it before I do that. I don't put any pressure on it. I put it in the press. I close the press with no pressure. The only pressure is what the planting gives on it. And let's see what kind of dirt we can get off of this big X here. And if I don't pull any dirt, then I'm going to have to go to the MacuClean and use that, which is actually my preferred method now of cleaning. But I do like to try to get any loose dirt off of it I can. Like I said, I'm just going to go through the white, see what I can get off. Found my brush. It's amazing what you find if you actually clean up the table. I had so much junk on this table it isn't funny. Now I am going to use a MacuClean on this, but I still want to try to get the loose dirt off first. And even though I said I might try to sell this on Friday, if I don't finish it, I'm not putting it up for sale. So you might get a partial video out of this. It might not be finished. Because I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do it right. And if I have to break this down into 10 or 15 videos, I'll do it. Because I want to show you every step I take. I'm going to film every little bit of it. Of course, I won't film putting it in my press or prepping it to putting it in my press, because I absolutely refuse to show you people how to press things. There's too many variables in pressing, and what I do here in Central Texas might be way different from what you have to do wherever you happen to be. Humidity is a factor. Barometric pressure can be a factor. Even your sea level. You know, how far are you above sea level or below sea level? That's the atmospheric pressure. That can make a difference too. There's so many different variables. The type of press you have will make a difference. Even if you have two presses that are made from the same manufacturer, if they're made in different years, there might be differences in them. So I can't give you numbers and expect you to be able to get the same results that I get. You just have to experiment and see what works best for you. Generally speaking, for most areas in the country, between 150 and 165 degrees for Silver and Bronze Age comics is probably good. I can't tell you about newer comics than that because I just really don't fool with them. I don't press them that much. Modern comics, I just generally don't press. It's not important to me to press a modern comic because I'm not sending it into CGC or CBCS or EGS or PGX or any of the other companies that are out there. Yeah, it's starting to look a little better. The comic is cold again. So I'm going to reheat it. I don't think I can really do much for the back side. Yeah, I think the only way I'm going to get anything off of that is with the Immaculate Clean. So excuse me. I need to go wash my hands now. Okay, I just heated this up again, and there is some dirt here that I might be able to get off. A little more visible after I heated it up. Go very easy on it, very gently. I do not want to tear this, so I will be going extra careful with anything I do. And it's definitely picking up a little bit. I don't know if the camera is going to be able to pick up what I'm seeing with my eyes. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to ImmacuClean right now and see what we can get off of this. It's definitely pulling a little dirt off. Okay, I'm going to let this sit for about an hour, let it dry out, and then I'll come back to it and give it another going over. Okay, I'm back. It's pretty dry. I'm going to go ahead and give it one more cleaning on this side. And then I'll do the back. Well, actually, then I'll wash it down with a little bit of water, and then I'll do the back. Still got a lot more to do to this, though. A lot more than just cleaning needs to be done. And I probably should look at that. And this one. That one. Yeah, pretty nasty. I'm going to go over the inside of it too, I think, but just once. So I'll do that when I come back. I'll do the inside, and then we'll see where I go from there. Well, it's the next morning. Had to do some other things. Couldn't keep working on this continually. So let me wipe it off a little bit, see what it looks like. Got a little dirt off of it. That's a good thing. I am going to do one more cleaning on the front cover, but I wanted to do the inside also. So I'm going to do one time on the inside. And I have to be really careful about this because I do not want to get it on the paper, on the inside paper. But I don't want to detach the cover either, because the cover is tightly attached. So we'll see how this turns out. Man, there's a lot of dirt on that inside.
Look at that. A lot of dirt on the inside cover. Go ahead and let that dry. Probably do another cleaning on it afterwards. And I may not get back to this until after I come back from work. I don't know yet. I'm going to go over it one more time. Wow. I mean, it's just an incredible amount of dirt coming off of there. So, yeah, that's it. I'm going to have some coffee. I'm going to get ready for work, and then I'll come back to this after I get it back from work. I got a few more minutes before it's time for me to go to work, so I figured I'd go over this one more time. It's looking really good. Got a lot of that brown off of there, just with it. Fortunately, there's a lot of. I think I'm just going to go over the edges a little more and keep the paint part of it separate like it is. So, yeah, we're not going to do the whole inside cover again, just the edges. Because it did take off a little bit of the ink on the inside. But what I really want to get, if I can, is this little stain down here. Unbelievable. The amount of dirt this takes off. Okay, I'm just going to let that sit, and I'll check it again before I go to work. Should be dry. Probably just go ahead and be able to go over it with some water. Take off the paper. Then I got to take the paper fines off the cover, and we should be all right. Well, I still have some more time. I actually woke up a whole lot earlier than I thought, and I don't have to be at work for another hour, so I'm going to go over here with just a dry. That's why I don't have the glove on. I'm not going to use the chemicals right now. I'm just going to go over it a little bit and see if I can't get some of these paper fines off. Go over it dry, and then I'll go over it with a bit of water to take off any residual soap that's still on there. Is it 100% clean? No. But I am happy with the way it looks. If you take and compare the front cover, inside cover, to the back inside cover, you can see a fairly big difference in the two. So, yeah, I'm happy with the way it's turning out. So, I guess that's all that's important. Get a little tiny bit of water on this. Doesn't take much. It's easy to get too much water on one of these pads. And as you can see, it's still taking off quite a bit of dirt. I'm going to come back, and then I'll start working on the front cover again, on the outside front cover. This one is pretty much done on the inside. So anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 or 3 hours go by in between working on these, and of course sometimes it'll be a lot longer, like when I go to work it'll be about 8 or 9 hours in between the time I leave the last segment and the time I come back. I do not know how long this video is going to be, but once I start uploading it, I'm just going to let it go, and I will, if it's 30 minutes, fine. If it's an hour, fine. If it's 3 hours, that's okay too. I'm just going to let it go. It's going to be a long video, I know that. I'm not going to break it down. I'm just going to let it go. So there you go. We'll let this dry, and then I'll come back if I have time. Otherwise, I'll be back this evening. And I'm back, and it's dry. So we'll just go over it a little bit with just a dry cloth. And I was thinking about doing one more soap on this one, but I don't think I am, because the cover does have a lot of wear, and a lot of the ink is already off of it, and I don't want to risk taking more ink off of it. So I think what I'm going to do is just go over it with a little water and clean it up some, and then we'll start on the back side. When I get back from work, because once I finish this segment, I am going to have to get ready and go to work, so I won't be back until this evening. There are more things I want to do to the front cover. Still need to take these indents from around Iceman's head off. So there you go. We'll just put this in here and let it dry. Actually, I've got a couple of chopsticks I would rather use. Let that dry out, and I'll start on the back cover when I come back from work. I think I'm going to start on the back cover on the inside first, and then I'll do the outside. So. Alright, I just got back from work. Delco's mad at me because I put some flea medicine on him. So let's clean this cover off a little bit. I'm just going to use just a plain white. I think that's good enough. So we'll take it, make sure it's nice and clean. Flip it over. Put this on the inside there. And we're going to start with the inside cover instead of the outside cover. And I'm going to clean that up a little bit first. Get my glove. I think I made the little tear that was already there a little worse, but that's all right.
I'm not going to fix it anyway. Well, I might, but as of right now, I don't plan on it. I might try something different with that today or tomorrow. Rather, look at all that dirt. Okay. Let me raise it up a little bit with these chopsticks. And let it dry, and I'll be back. And we're back to do a little more work on this. It's been over 24 hours since I did anything with it. I got caught up with some other things. In the meantime, Delco decided it would make a good bed. So now the spine split that was only 1.5 inches is now 3 inches, and I'm going to have to repair it. That's not something I wanted to do, but it is what it is. Thank you for screwing up the comic book, Delco. He's not answering. I think he realizes that he was not good. So we're going to get a little... I'm just disgusted by that. We're going to go ahead and wipe this down. I'm going to get a little distilled water and go over the... inside, let that dry, and then we'll do the outside of it. And it's still picking up some dirt. Some of those fines are it's either picking up dirt from the fines or dirt from Delco. I'm not sure which. I'm happy with the whiteness level of the inside cover. I'm not happy with the fact that I now do need to remove the cover in order to do this spine repair, because it's that long. It really pisses me off. So, yeah. Didn't want to have to repair this book at all. Looks like I have no choice. And if I do the repair, I'm not going to offer it up for sale. So, there you go. Let me go get some water and we'll get started on this. Okay, I got up to get the water. I forgot to turn the camera back on. I went over it with water. I picked up quite a bit of dirt off of it, as you can see. I'm going to take it, flip it over now, and then once it dries, I'll start on the back cover. I'm so disgusted by this spine split that wasn't there before last night when somebody decided they would take a nap on it. Actually, they weren't. They were playing with the camera. I know this because there's cat hairs on the outside of the lens. And he's already had his little tail busted for that once. So, yeah, I might try a new experiment. I might try something different. Matter of fact, I'm going to. While this is still damp, I made up a solution to play with. This is methyl cellulose, and I've got it in the consistency of paste. And we're going to try it right here on this split here. And all I'm going to do is paint it on. Since I have to do repairs to it anyway, I might as well try something new, right? I do not know if that will hold the split together. I'm just trying it to see what will happen. Okay, I have it pretty thick. I'm going to take this and blot a little bit. Get some of it off of there. Maybe wipe it a little bit. Wiping is bad. But yeah, we're going to see how that works. If that works, then I'll try to do the spine split repair the same way. So let's give that a shot. Take this and stick it under. So yeah, we'll be back in a little while. Okay, number one, this appears to be holding it together. It's not going to be that strong, I don't think, but that's a good thing. I'm going to give it a shot at holding that spine together too. We'll see how that works out. But I want to go ahead and start working on this back cover, get that cleaned up, and then we'll worry about trying to get that spine straightened out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten the comic, and then I'll paint the my little solution on it and see what happens. So let's go ahead and get this part cleaned. Then I have to run to the post office, and I missed the two post offices that are local to me, so I'm going to have to drive to the main one. That I'm not looking forward to, but it is what it is. I want to get those packages out today, so go ahead and clean this off some. And I probably should have a pair of gloves on for this hand too. I'll just wash them real good afterwards. This is the part that I'm really curious about. Is that going to separate after I clean it? I suspect it will. Look at all that dirt. Holy crap. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to run to the post office real quick, come back, and then I'll work on it some more. Okay, one more time. I'll do one more pass on cleaning on that, then I'll go over it with water, and we can go to the next step, which is trying to repair that spine split. This actually seems to be holding up pretty well, so I will try repairing the spine split with that methyl cellulose and see what happens. I was thinking of selling this tonight, but I probably won't now. I'll probably just keep it. There we go. I might try some other experiments. I might even try a little bit of color touch. I'm not sure I want to go that route, but it is something I should learn, I think. And I've got some ideas on how to do it. I'm going to start with, you know, something old like this nasty old piece here. And see what I can come up with. So let's let this dry, and I'll be back to clean it up a little more. And I'm back. It looks pretty dry. I'm going to go ahead and get a little water, clean it off some. Focus a bit. A lot more dirt. Now we will let this dry out, and then I'll come back and steam it and flatten it out. You won't see me steaming it, you won't see me flattening out, but I'll let you know that's what I'm going to do, and then we'll jump forward to what I do after that's done. So let's take a little break here and get it done. Okay, nice and dry. Let me wipe it down a little bit. See how this tear is doing. That tear is pretty well sealed. I like that. Now we're going to open this up. For those that don't remember what you're looking at, it's X-Men number 42. Open this to the center. And I'm going to take it and flatten it out like that. And then once it's flattened out, I'm going to take some of this methyl cellulose and paint right down there. Try to seal that up. Okay, as you can see, it's all nice and flat now, but we can really tell a lot of problems here. You can see how this is separating slightly from there. We've got a little hole here actually. I don't know if that's in here or not. Don't think it is. So this spine is really weak. So I don't really want to take it off, but I might end up having to. But what we're going to try getting this back in here. So we can see the staple there. It's not going to work. I'm going to have to remove this bottom staple at the very least. So let's go ahead and do that. And get kind of a different tool than what I'm used to using. Something I want to experiment with. This is actually an electrical tool, and I'm going to hook it in under and lift straight up. That seemed to work pretty good. Same thing. Hook it in, try to get it up under there, under the staple. Maybe I have to use this smaller one. And then bring it straight up. That seemed to have worked fairly good. And then of course we'll just take the staple out, pushing it gently. Now, next thing I'm going to do is take this and set it under here. Get a little paintbrush out. Paint the cover outside with methyl cellulose. And this is almost the consistency of paste. I have it really thick. I'll do a little bit up here as well. And now I'm going to let that dry, and then I will do the inside of it. And I'm going to let it dry for at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then I'll try to do the inside of the comic of that as well. So we'll wait and see how that turns out, and if I don't like it, of course, I'll remove the cover completely and go ahead and use some of the mending tape that I have. But I'm trying to avoid using that for this project. So that's going to be it for right now. We'll be back in a little while. Okay, the other side of the cover is dry. I went ahead and turned it over. And we're going to go ahead and pick the entire inside of the comic up away from the cover. I'm going to use my blue tape to prop that up slightly and hope that it doesn't tear it out of the... You know what, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, because I don't want the cover to come off with the top staple, and it is very loose, I'm just going to go ahead and hold it up like this, take some of that methyl cellulose paste that I created, and go ahead and paint it on. Now it's holding from the other side, but I figured I'd give it a paint from this side too, and hopefully this will seal that crack so that I don't have to use tape on it. I'm going to take toothpick, put it on, or not toothpick, a chopstick, put it on one side and then put it on the other side and lay it down. That'll keep the paper from touching the cover, and hopefully when it dries I'll be able to reassemble the comic and press it, put the crease back in it, press it, and we'll see how it looks. And at that time I will make up my mind if I'm going to sell it tonight on Horizon Pix auction or not, or if I'm going to try more experiments with it. So this is going to be a long video, or rather it already has been a long video. Okay, welcome back. It's dry, and I'm going to take the chopsticks out now, and we're going to turn it over very carefully, and I'm going to reinsert the staple. This is something you've seen me do many times, and I'm not going to bore you with it right now. I'm just going to go ahead and put the staple in. We'll close it up, and the next time you see this comic will be after it's been pressed and has the crease back in it. Hopefully I won't have to take it all apart and put tape in it. So we're just going to see what that comes out to be. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, it didn't work. The staple went right through the cover. It didn't hold at all. And now the cover is completely detached. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to have to put a tiny bit of tape on here to keep keep the cover on. I do like the way it sealed the crack, but yeah, it just didn't work out properly. So we'll get out my tape and scissors, cut some very small pieces off of the tape, and I'll just reattach the cover. This is not going to be sold. I'll show it this evening,
but I'm not going to offer it up for sale, I don't think. Oh, okay, I'm going to let you see. See, I'm putting a very small piece on here. It probably won't even be able to be seen. But the goal isn't to fool anybody. It's just to keep the comic together. And I will have a note on it when it goes into my collection, as it will end up invariably doing, that it has been, the cover has been reattached. So. I do think I'm going to put a little more of this methyl cellulose down on the bottom part of this. See if I can't keep it from getting any worse than it already is. And of course, here's that other tear, and you can barely see where that is. That worked really well. Some up there. Seal up that little bit of a crack, and I think I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole spine on the inside just to give it a little more tensile strength. Mind you, this is not glue. I have it the consistency of paint, but it's actually a food additive. Okay, put that off to the side for now, let it dry. Then we'll take these staples out again. Well, this staple I've never taken out before, so. And I like using this little tool here, because once you get the staple up a little bit, you can actually just slide it in there, maybe. And then I can just bend it up. And it's kind of a soft plastic, so it really doesn't damage the pages. Now, for those of you that are wondering where I got the tool kit, or the tool from, it comes out of this little kit I picked up at Walmart, and there's 2 of them in there. There's also this thing. So it's a very handy tool kit to have. It has all kinds of different screws in it that I use for working on toys. Take the bottom staple out. Remembering which side is up, I'll put it in my little piece of magic eraser. Same with this one. And once this is dry, I'll reassemble it.
Well, there it is. I ended up having to go ahead and put tape down here on the spine. The methyl cellulose simply would not hold on the fold, but it did really well up here where this tear was. I mean, that just came out phenomenal. It's just sealed it right up. It's holding really well. You can see where it was, but like I said, for the spine, it's not going to hold the crease. So I went ahead and put tape on it because I really didn't have any other choice. The comic has been reattached to the cover, as you can see. I do not know if I'm going to offer it up for sale tonight or not. I'm going to talk to some of my compadres. I'm going to talk to some of the people that are on my stream tomorrow night. Well, actually last night, but I'm going to do that tonight. And there I go with that whole confusing time travel thing again. So anyway, yeah. We'll see what happens. I'll make up my mind. I hope to have this video ready to go Friday. If not, it probably won't drop until Friday evening, possibly Saturday morning. Yeah. Blame Delco. It's his fault. Hey, are you going to approve this video? Okay, well you better. Don't forget, before you handle your comics, before you handle your collectibles, before you try to repair or clean a comic, wash your hands. It's good for your comics. It's good for your health. We'll see you next video. Bye.